person you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
Alrighty, good evening, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be in the world. This is Theory of Blind Man, and we're going to talk about the PS5 today, as well as Left 4 Dead 2. I also watched the update for Pitch Black today. That seems really cool, so I may bring that video up later on, as well as talk a little bit about the Audio Wizards beta test. Yeah. Anyway, Jesse's going to join me. I just got to get him on the line. So he actually just sent me a tweet. So I guess I could reply to that. So give me just a minute here and I'll be right with y'all. Okay, so what did we just watch? Let me get to the chat because I don't have that open yet. That was interesting, to say the least. Okay, there's my channel. Yay! Oh, look at that. It's playing an ad. That's because YouTube trusts my whatever you call it. Oh my gosh. I'm glad I found that out. Hold on. Goodness gracious, that was terrible. I apologize, everybody. My microphone was not correct. Welcome, Blind Toes. How you doing, sir? Yes. Hold on just a second. Trying to get Jesse on here. Welcome, Word Nerd. Yeah, I don't know why. Ecamm went to my webcam camera rather than my actual microphone. So okay, just give it a second. I'm just waiting for the stream to catch up. And we'll get Jesse in here. Man, there's no... Hold on. Source. Let's go ahead and go to my main screen here. There we go. That sounds much better. Sweet. That means I gotta check my camera. Okay, that's the right one. Now I'm gonna give Jesse a call. Give me a second just here. There we go. Okay. Welcome, Jesse.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been quite the day.
Yeah. What did you? Man, I don't know. I was sitting there waiting, and I understand it's a trailer for new games, a new system, and all that great stuff, and yeah, so it was very cinematic. And I was watching a couple people. I couldn't log into your mixer, dude. Every single time I try to watch your streams, nothing will load for me on Mixer. I don't know what it is. So
that is so weird because I've actually had a few people in there today.
Oh, real?
Yeah.
I wish I could have been there. If you don't do YouTube Live, you just do it on Mixer, right?
I am doing it that way for now because it was kind of like Microsoft doing a lot of stuff with their accessibility back in the day. That's kind of where I decided to go. They have the built-in game bar and all that. So I just started there and kind of just stayed there.
Yeah. Oh, which reminds me, I just got my game bar working yesterday, so that's pretty cool. So I had to watch.
I hope it's gotten better because the game bar. I had to start using OBS because the game bar was really too flaky and the strings were just cut out or not record or it was. I hope it's gotten a lot better.
I haven't tried to broadcast yet. All I did was accidentally record a good hour and a half of me playing Audio Wizards, which if you want to, we can talk about that later. I'm not too happy. But anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it worked really good for me.
Because you said you weren't too happy.
With Audio Wizards, yeah.
Really?
Have you been doing the beta testing at all?
No, I did for the original, but not the multiplayer. I don't know that I would have time to do it.
Yeah, apparently, well, I'll email you something offline, but apparently low vision or sighted people will have a huge advantage over totally blind people because there are some visuals, and the only time that people can find you is if you make noise. So as you walk forward, your element makes a noise, and that's how you target people. However, if you got sight, you can see someone just standing there. So I did that several times because I was getting killed immediately as soon as I'd spawn. Boom.
They gotta have something. If somebody stands still, there should be like a enemy almost like a shimmering sound or something to say like, hey, somebody is standing here.
Right.
Because that's not. Because if I were sighted, then I can stand in one spot and just be a mobile or a immobile turret.
Yeah, exactly.
And just wait for people to pick them off.
Yeah. So, hold on. Oh wow, this really blew up. Okay, Blind Toes, welcome. In Darkness, welcome. There's someone else here. The word nerd, welcome.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know we were live. My bad.
Oh no, it's okay. So anyway, yeah. So like I was saying, I had to watch a couple different streams, one out of each ear, to try to get other people's visual input on what was going on. And from what I can tell, sound-wise, it was very cinematic. And it turns out there wasn't a whole lot of gameplay shots. From what I understand,
there were some titles more than others. There was a lot of things where what it would do is it was really cinematic, but then it would splice in between that would be like here's a 3-second clip of like the third person gameplay or whatever.
Yeah.
But some had more than that. There were a few titles there that like this looks actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. Oddly enough, the two that I found very interesting, both games were like time loop games. Like the alien one with that chick, and then towards the end, the assassin guy on the island.
That assassin guy, what was it, Death, I think it was called? That looked really cool. It's like a first-person game, and it looked like it was like almost like I don't want to say cel-shaded, but it was really like artistic looking, and you were using all kinds of weird like powers and stuff. That one actually showed some gameplay, and it looked really interesting.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorites.
I did notice
Ratchet & Clank had a ton of gameplay too.
Which one?
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, that was the other one I was going to mention too. Is that Ratchet game that seemed really cool?
Yeah, that looked like I said, almost when you see some of the gameplay and you're looking at the targeting reticle, and it's like it almost looks like I've said this even in current gen. Like sometimes it almost looks too good because your crosshair gets lost in the graphics, and sometimes the details are harder to see.
Yeah,
because there's so much going on.
Yeah, no doubt. I did really enjoy the sound. One of the streams I was watching, unfortunately, they were broadcasting very weird, so I had to switch over to another stream. And yeah, the sound just seemed really, really amazing. So I'm pretty pleased about that.
I would agree. The sound definitely was good. I was listening with headphones. It definitely all of them sounded good. And even for me, like I was trying to sort of describe what was going on to people during the stream, and there were just little they flash all these words and titles and stuff across the screen, and even when they show the titles at the end of all these trailers and unveils, it's like, well, you either have a really goofy stylized font, so it's harder to read quickly, or it just goes by so fast that I'm like, well, it's death something. I don't know. There was a couple titles that I had to go back. What was that called again?
This is.
But. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm trying to fix this audio at the same time because for some reason you have a massive echo. I'm trying to figure out why.
Oh, really? I don't think it's anything on my end because I just have.
I noticed that my cameras were all messed up.
Oh.
So let me go to my audio and video.
Because I totally double checked my audio before I came in here. Because I've been on other calls for the last couple of days, and I've had weird audio issues. So we're finally getting them under control.
Nice. How did your thing go, by the way?
I went great at my presentation last night. Yeah. Presented to the local IGDA on game accessibility. It did record. And I have it uploaded, so I'm going to be releasing that video on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it went quite well.
Okay, the camera's correct. Audio. Yep.
When I was talking, I was getting a little bit of I could hear little bits of me talking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't now. Oh, now I did. Yeah, I'm getting an echo back.
I think I know why.
I think from your end. I think.
Okay, now there should be no echo.
Echo.
Let me check.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
I'm
sorry, guys. I installed some more memory in my computer, and I did a complete disk first aid and just cleaned a lot of stuff up. But when I plugged everything back in, I had to go through and reset all my sound cards, all the cameras, and of course I didn't do that until 2 minutes before the stream. I was really focused on the whole PS5 thing, so.
Yeah, well, this morning I got a little scared because I actually had a little kind of a little secret gig that I can't talk about, but but it was weird because before I did that, I'd hooked my PlayStation 4 controller up to my computer, and all of a sudden, for some reason, I lost audio. I'm like, what? Why would that cause me to lose? You know what? I know what, but I figured it out.
What?
Oh, why did you have that problem too?
I have a Nimbus controller. Okay. I have a PS4 controller, and I just got an Xbox controller. And no matter which one I plug in, I lose audio. Now, the Xbox one, I've never lost audio. I've never had that happen, but I did with the PS4, and I figured out why. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever figure it out, or
no?
Okay, so the trick is, I don't remember exactly what it's called, like how you would normally get there. But what I do is I go to the start menu, and I type in app space volume, and just hit enter, and it brings up this like audio control panel thing. What it does is because it's really nice when you're hooked up to a console, but when you hook up, your modern controllers have a headphone jack in them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so it's routing the audio actually through your controller. So you need to switch it back to whatever device you were using before you plugged it in.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to, like, your overall audio input and output, like for your master volume, you just switch devices back to your primary audio, because it was wanting to use my controller audio input and output from the jack on the bottom, even though nothing was plugged into it.
Yeah.
So that's what it was doing, and now it works fine.
Yeah, that's how mine was too. And I actually did plug in headphones into the Xbox controller and the PlayStation controller, and
really,
that was fine.
Right, but if you have the headphones connected directly to your computer, though, then you have to make sure that you switch, not so much the Xbox One in my experience, but the PlayStation 4, I had to switch it back to my Turtle Beach headset that I'm using now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I usually just go into sound card settings in the search bar and turn it on that way.
And I was doing that because with the other thing that we're going to talk about in a little bit, I know it's not going to be the ultimate quality, because I just, I'm waiting to get a capture card eventually for if I upgrade my rig, but I got PlayStation Remote or PS4 Remote working, so I can stream games to my PC, and so I will be able to show off some accessibility features for a game that's coming out pretty soon.
Awesome! I can't wait for that. I got the PS4 Remote for my Mac because that's where I broadcast from, so I'm trying to get those two things connected. And apparently you can do it from your phone too, and access the remote from your phone. That way,
I've never done that, but it probably took me like 5 minutes to set it up. Like, I downloaded the program. There's a couple settings you have to change on the PS4.
Yep.
And then, I just opened it up. I had to log in with my PlayStation account, and it took about 10-15 seconds to find and connect to it, and boom, I was off and running. I played about 10 minutes of Spider-Man and God of War, and it seemed fairly smooth.
Awesome. I've heard a lot about God of War. How is that at least for a low vision gamer?
I have honestly, like, the PlayStation 4 I need to really get away from my PC and devote more time to my PS4, because I have 3 or 4 different games for it, and I just haven't had time to devote all that much time to it. I'm only probably a half hour into each, if that.
Yeah.
So, in a way, I'm not ready for new consoles, because my backlog is so high as it is that I'm like, I don't have time to play the crap I already have.
Right. I know that. I don't even have that many, but I'm starting to get that way too. Like, I just got a PS4 like maybe 8 months ago, and I didn't even know that they had started talking about PS5 already.
I got mine last summer. They had some deal. They had the deal on the Slim with the Spider-Man bundle. It had Spider-Man and Horizon Zero Dawn bundles. I think it was like $250. Something like that.
Yeah, the one I got, it was $250. I mean, it was not used, but not new. I don't remember what they call it, but it was a pro.
Refurb, probably.
Yeah, it was a pro version with a couple games and a couple controllers, so I got that for $250 too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, I don't have a pro. I have the original, the Slim, which is kind of the middle version, but I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yep.
I needed it for The Last of Us Part 2, because I largely bought a PS3 for the first game, so... I even before I knew about the accessibility stuff, I'm like, I need to know this story. I need to continue it.
I'm checking the stream right. Yep. Okay. No echo. Cool.
Excellent.
Crazy Blind Man, welcome in darkness. Welcome. I'm trying to catch up in the chat. Blind Toes. Yep. Oh, there was another one in here that I haven't seen before. I thought it said like Oinks or something.
I'm not sure.
Where is it?
Yeah, I had a couple of new people in mind today too. My stream.
That's awesome.
It's been really dead lately. Like I was like, I don't think I streamed last weekend because I was just busy or wore out or something. But The weekend before, I did a few streams and like it was just dead.
O-Rinks, I guess. Orinks.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, sounds familiar.
Welcome to my stream, O-Rinks. Much appreciated for you being here. So now, from a totally blind perspective, from what we saw on the PS5 presentation, I have no idea what was going on. Like, the sound was amazing. I give that as very cinematic, very theatrical. Very little was said by the presenters or even Sony themselves. So I really don't know what's going on. So if you'd be so kind, Jesse, what do you know? Help us out.
Oh boy. Well, I won't promise that I'll be able to remember all the games because they were just boom, boom, boom. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of one trend that I sort of noticed was that it almost reminded me of like the PS2 era coming back, where there was a lot of like third person and like 3D platformers. They had like that Sackboy's Big Adventure or something. It's like, but they turned it into a 3D platformer. It's not actually a creative Little Big Planet thing. But you know, they had Gran Turismo 7, and they showed some gameplay, like some first-person in cockpit view gameplay a little bit. Ratchet and Clank, they showed a pretty decent chunk of gameplay for that, and that looked pretty darn good. That I would be interested in checking out. Like I said, that Deathloop, I think it's called, that later one, that looked really interesting. There was a lot of gameplay there, kind of a first person. Like I said, he was doing some like weird like shooting and powers stuff, and this like lady with a sniper rifle thing was after him or something. And I'm not too sure what was going on, but I was pretty intrigued. And then what was that other time one?
It was some alien planet where she was stuck on this planet, and every day she'd wake up.
Yeah.
And she could die, she could be killed or not.
I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, most of them didn't say what the titles were.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were like title screens, but
there were, and again, that's where I was mentioning earlier. Even me being low vision, I had trouble reading because there was a couple titles where the font was just really like loopy or just really weirdly stylized, so I couldn't quite read them, or it just or they would show the title for like 2 seconds and then boom, gone.
After the game, yeah.
Yeah, so I did an okay job, all things considered, but I did look beforehand just to see like Microsoft's E3 thing last year. I didn't know it until after the fact, but I was hoping that Sony maybe would have had an audio described version like Microsoft did last year's E3 event. But it looked like they didn't. They had a whole bunch of different language streams, but no audio described version. Yeah, they had like 4 or 5 different languages, like different streams. But no audio description unless I missed it.
Yeah, I can't remember which stream I was on. I subscribed to the PlayStation one, but I guess they didn't do it live on YouTube. I thought they were going to.
They did. That's where I watched it.
Then
it was on the PlayStation channel, not the Sony, but the actual PlayStation channel. Yeah, they had. That's where I watched it actually.
Dang. I would have watched it there then, but yeah, I tried. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll turn on the closed captionings. Because you guys can do that with the C key on your keyboard, by the way. But VoiceOver will read that out. So, like, I was hoping that the closed captioning would pick up the title screens, but it didn't.
Right. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what other games were there. Like I said, there was a lot of like third-person-y games that there was that Horizon. Was it like Forbidden West or something? I forget what it was called, but. Or a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which I still, like I said, I got it with my PS4, and I still haven't gotten a chance to play it, the first game. So, but it looks cool, like robot dinosaurs, and it looked pretty cool.
Oh, yes, we do. Ability Mom, welcome. Agent Z%, welcome. Natasha. Ability Mom just asked, do we happen to know any good games on the PC for visually impaired? You are asking the right person.
Well, again, I know we had this question last time we met, and I know that if you can write in and what kind of games might you be interested in playing?
Oh yeah, that's the kind of the thing to
Because
cover.
there's like, yeah, there's so many types of games out there. I mean, you like
Oh
role-playing
yeah,
games or racing or puzzle, action shooters. Because I don't even know how many videos are on my channel now. I mean, probably over 1,000, 1,500 videos. So
yeah, you can go check out. I think she does subscribe to you anyway, but illegally cited on YouTube and check out all those reviews.
yeah, I mean, if you find, if you let us know kind of what you're kind of interested, I can maybe give you a few pointers.
Yeah, I know a couple that I just got She Noir. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, is that an iOS thing or a PC thing?
Well, actually both, but it doesn't work on the iOS currently or Mac OS X.
Sure.
It's some kind of like she's a detective during the day and a thief at night. I don't know. I just it was a couple bucks. So
I've heard of it.
I got that for the PC.
I don't know if I've played it.
Another good one that I just got into that I've been really stuck on. I find it fascinating. It's an RPG, turn-based, with open world type exploration. Heroes Call.
I want to play that more, but I kind of got stuck and I got just sidetracked. And so if I were going to play it again, I'd have to start over.
Yeah, it's quite in depth.
Yeah.
Another good first person shooter that I just started playing, which is awesome because they got online competitions as well, as Swamp. And people have been telling me about Swamp for over a year now, and I hear zombies. I'm like, ugh, zombies again. But this game, it's got me hooked. So I'm excited to play that.
Okay. Yeah, I played that for a little while, and I played through that first like offline area, and I poked around the next little area for a little bit, but I don't know, I just didn't I didn't stick with it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm definitely a first person shooter.
Oh, I am too. I mean, I've been playing a lot. I mean, my two favorite games probably ever are the original Doom and Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead. Yeah.
Right. Ability Mom says role playing games. That's what she's into.
Okay. Well, for low vision, for PC, oh boy. Some of my favorites have been if you don't mind first person, I really like the Fallout, like Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, the Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, and Skyrim are really good. I mean, I can't tell you how many hours I put into Oblivion. I won't tell you because I don't know if I'm ashamed or proud, and I'll just say yes.
They should pay you for that.
Yeah, I played way too much of Oblivion. And if you're looking for more turn-based, I don't play too many of those. I like more of the kind of more active-based combat, but the one that I did play through fully, you got to be okay with some, let's say, adult situations. But South Park: The Stick of Truth was freaking hilarious.
I'm going to have to check that one out.
That one, I did a full playthrough of that on my channel. There's a Let's Play playlist for that. And it is a turn-based RPG. But yeah, I mean, it's South Park, so you know what you're getting into.
Exactly.
But they're basically playing... like Cartman is this Gandalf kind of like wizard character, and you're this new guy that came in, and there's just the kids break off into these factions, and it's just so dumb and funny. And like the nighttime events, like you go to bed and like the second night, it basically takes place over 3 days, and the second night's events, oh my god, I almost wet myself. I mean, I just laugh so hard. You know, All I will say is, the experience when you maybe hear your parents in the other room.
Nightmares.
Yeah, well, let's just say it goes a little further, and it is funny.
Had to check that out for sure. Speaking
The
of
underpants gnomes.
wizard, yeah.
They're
Wait,
in there.
before we go on to wizards, do we have any details? I didn't look it up. Specifics on the PS5. I mean, they're talking about all this power. And then I heard somebody that was also watching the stream like, well, that's something my dual graphics card and 16 core could handle.
Well, see, that's just it. Here's the issue, though, is, yeah, my guess is if you're looking at the Microsoft side, there's probably going to be a lot more cross-platform support. Like, if it comes out on Xbox, it's going to come out on PC.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation, there's a lot of these, before a lot of the trailers, they would show the little PlayStation symbol, PlayStation Studios. Those games, for the most part, are probably going to primarily be, unless they just decide to switch it up, those are probably going to be PS5 exclusive, if I had to guess, just like a lot of them have been the last couple generations. There's been one or two that have come to PC, but not many.
Yeah.
So, like, even though, yeah, your computer could run it, and that's why I'm kind of wanting to upgrade my PC, so that I can do these next gen games, just everything on a PC with an RTX card and 32 gig of RAM. But with the Sony stuff, I don't know how much of that is going to come to PC.
Yeah.
They didn't say a price. They did at the end. They kept teasing it sort of throughout, but they did show what the console looked like at the end. And it's weird. It's
That's what
it's like really. It's really narrow, and it's not really square, but it's kind of like it's kind of angular.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like it has fins on it, like the old school like 50s cars sort of.
Yeah, someone actually had described it as if you were to leave out a half-inch thick piece of plastic out in the sun and it started to warp.
Yeah, kinda. I could see that.
So.
And one thing I did have trouble with, they showed they showed the system, and then they showed two side by side, but again, they had the different information in small text under the PS5, so I'm like, why are they showing two systems? Because as far as I knew, they were going to only have one, and I couldn't read it in time, so I went back and looked at the video archive. And I paused it, and what they're doing is it's the same system, but they're having the PS5 normal, like the regular edition, but then which has a disc drive in it, and then they have the digital edition, so no disc drive if you're going to do all downloads.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So yeah, and that's honestly one of my concerns, is that if you're doing all these, 4K, these super large games. And they said that they're having just under a terabyte of storage. Like, dude, you're not going to be able to put very many games on there because they have to be installed to the SSD.
Yep.
And like, I don't know. I'm like, I have my game drive is a 4 terabyte regular drive, and it's pretty full.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to pull that off, because I'm betting replacement hard drives are not going to be cheap.
No.
And the thing is the way that you buy the game on disc, and you got to put it on the SSD anyway.
Yep.
And they always get patched. So like, pretty much, unless you're on the Switch, physical media, in my opinion, is pretty much useless.
Yeah. It is.
Because everything is going to, like, the thing you get, you're going to get a day one patch anyway.
Right.
So
Blind Toes says, Jesse, try not to button smash on MK11.
Oh, actually, I wasn't really button smashing, but I don't know. The buttons were probably just close to the microphone.
Oh,
during my story mode.
How did that
stream
play out? I didn't get to see that one, unfortunately.
I did 2 streams. I had to cut it off the first night because we were getting this pretty serious. Nothing happened, but I got this like tornado warning, and it was just storming like crazy. I'm like, I better stop because I might lose power, and who knows what's going to happen. So I stopped a little ways in, and then I finished it up later that week.
Nice. Ability Mom brings up a good point. Is kind of where I'm at as well. She says she used to play games a lot until she lost her sight, and then just became frustrating to try to play. And that was one of the things that I was really looking forward to hearing. I guess I was just overzealous or hopeful that there'd be some kind of announcement talking about accessibility in any shape or form, but it shouldn't be expected, I know.
Yeah, I honestly was not expecting. I mean, I was thinking we'd be lucky if we saw the console itself, let alone anything related to accessibility.
Exactly. But Ability Mom, if you haven't heard, I always mess the name up. The Last of Us 2. They've got over 60 accessibility features on that game, and that's a mainstream AAA studio game. So, its accessibility is coming, and it's coming fast for gaming, I think.
It is. The Last of Us Part 2 is coming out next Friday. And I started my stream a little bit early before the event because I wanted to kind of highlight, and I showed a couple of the video clips from Naughty Dog's blog. They had a few video clips just showing off like some of the text-to-speech and some of the audio cues that if you were playing where you could, identify enemies or objects to pick up. I can't wait. Like, I'm super hyped for this game. Like, I was already, but like, the accessibility.
And that's a PS4 game, right? Or a PlayStation
PS4 exclusive, yes.
Yep. Cool.
Yes.
What was the other one? I totally brain dumped the other one I was just going to mention that you were looking at. Sorry.
That I have looked at or was going to look at? I'm not sure.
No, it was something recently you did.
I know I've been playing a lot of Minecraft Dungeons. I'm on the final level of that and kind of getting my butt kicked. I gotta grind and level up a little more because, oh boy, some of those shield dudes and some of those golems at the end are kind of getting brutal.
Yeah. How did you do on MK11? I didn't get to see that one either.
I did okay. I had a little bit of trouble with a couple of the battles, but yeah, I mean the story is complete ridiculous. Lou Raiden is back.
That's so funny. Blind Toes says Xbox has more accessibility than the PlayStation. That's what I've heard.
It does. The PlayStation dashboard right now is really, yes, there's text to speech, but it's kind of sketchy. There's a lot of places you just go into a menu or a sub menu and it's like, oh, no text to speech here.
That is so frustrating.
Yes,
the whole
agreed.
Front page, I guess you'd call it, of the PlayStation menu is completely accessible. However, individual menu items, text-to-speech is not available here. You're
I know.
Well, how do I get out?
I ran into that this morning when I was checking some settings for PlayStation Remote. I had to do it visually because you go into the settings and the top levels are readable, but then you go into anything and it's just silent. Like, oh, text-to-speech not available. I'm like, shut up.
I'm hoping that if PS5 is more on point with that stuff, that there'll be some kind of patch or firmware update for the PS4, because I don't want to buy another system just to have accessible menus.
I know. Well, it was funny because I actually, like I said, I listened to Brandon's Last of Us 2 podcast, and Naughty Dog, one of their little subtle things apparently that they had done is, because usually when you use the PlayStation game, it uses just your whatever, your PS4 save interface.
Right.
Well, they knew that wasn't accessible because that port doesn't speak. So they actually went and made their own custom save interface so that they knew that it would be accessible.
Oh, wow.
In The Last of Us 2, I'm like, wow, that's some dedication there, guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, that is to go that extra step or several steps farther than the platform itself, the console itself. That's really freaking cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering, like, when they made the announcements, I was kind of wondering, like, well, how good is this going to be? How is this really going to work?
Mm-hmm.
And after listening to that, after reading the blogs, I mean, there's tables upon tables of information about accessibility features on that blog entry. And I'm confident to know that this is going to be something incredible.
I think so too. Just again, it's a mainstream game. It's a large studio game, AAA game, and with everything that we've seen so far in the last year alone, just the way the mechanics are being developed for games nowadays, there is no reason that games cannot be made accessible, no matter what type of game it is. I mean, look at the mod for GTA 5 by Liam, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, see, that's just it. Is now there's getting to be so many examples, and like I said, I'm not discrediting indie games because that's where this stuff really started. There's a few super awesome examples that I've mentioned before of indie titles that have really gone above and beyond for accessibility, but now we're starting to get actual, like you said, AAA games with The Last of Us and even it's not, the story mode isn't accessible, but yeah, Liam's mod for Grand Theft Auto. What they're proving now is not just menu screens, but like during actual open world gameplay can be made accessible. I mean, like when I was listening to Brandon's thing this morning, and they were talking about like when you set a like even in a hero's call, when you set a waypoint, you kind of have to figure out your way around buildings and stuff.
Yep.
The pathfinding, when they set the waypoint, like it actually can help like guide you around like obstacles, so you don't have to keep like banging into walls and stuff to try to get around what you're like. I don't know what they're doing, but it just sounds ridiculous.
It's kind of like I don't know if you checked out the Pitch Black vlog. Actually, it was just from today, so you probably haven't. But
probably no.
Check out their, what did he call it? The auditory. Oh man, what is it called? The auditory something device. It's like the first device that you get on the level, and it's like a scope. So when you use it, it's like a shotgun microphone, right? So it enhances what you're focused on. So it sounds really cool to be able to, look around. It'll pick up points of interest. That way you can focus in on, and that's kind of like your homing beacon, for example. Like, so if I'm facing, northwest, and that's where I'm hearing the radio static, and I need to get to that building where the radio is, I know it's in that general direction, and you can find your way there.
Yeah, and like, I'm curious what the environments are going to be like in the in Pitch Black, because like even compared to like a mainstream game, like a lot of the audio games, even something like a Hero's Call, like what I've played of it so far, you have like upstairs, downstairs, but like you're kind of always, you have to find your way around objects and in different directions, but you're always kind of working on a flatter plane you're walking on.
Yeah, like a 2D plane.
Yeah, and so like, most of your modern games, like you got to crawl through windows and crawl up, climb over a car or a ledge that's, blocking the path. So you got to climb up on the back of a semi-trailer and, but they're making, and I know The Last of Us is going to have some of that stuff. I'm really I want to see how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm interested to know that. Alrighty, Ability Mom, I'll be right back. Can't wait for you guys to stream the last. Yeah, me too. That's going to be really exciting. I won't be able to do it for a while, but I'm sure Jesse here is going to do that.
I don't know if the way my connection is, I don't know if it's going to allow me to do remote streaming and or remote PS4 remote and streaming at the same time. I don't know if my connection is going to be good enough to like that, but at the very least I will try to do a spotlight video for it. And honestly, I for sure will try to do that. But like, yes, I'm low vision, but like, I can't wait to see like actual totally blind people stream or play this game.
Oh, I will.
Because that's going to be.
I can't wait. From everybody talking about it, I can't wait to play this game. I haven't even looked into what is the background of the game. Like, where does it come from, that sort of thing. So I usually get into the game history itself, where they came from, developers, blah, 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 all that stuff. I'm sure if you look up on like YouTube, just look up like The Last of Us summary or something. I'm sure there's plenty of videos on like, here's the story so far from the first game, because it's pretty gnarly. Nice.
It's a grim game.
Last of Us. I mean, it sounds like a zombie game or something, like where it's like, or maybe like an apocalyptic type of scenario. I'm guessing.
I mean, the gist of it is like there was this, I forget how it went, but like there was this like spore thing that like it spread through the air, and it kind of turned people into these weird like mutation things, and they kind of evolve into different, you have the people that are kind of halfway there, but then they mutate into these like clickers, which are a real pain. And then there's these other, and
that reminds me of, what was the name of that game way back in the day? First PlayStation. The dude's name was Snake.
Metal Gear.
No, was it Metal Gear? Where he had
Solid Snake.
Solid Snake. Yeah, okay, that's it. Metal Gear.
Yeah, that was Metal Gear Solid.
Yep. Yeah, that spore thing, or like maybe an early Resident Evil. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah, and like the remaining part of humanity that hasn't gotten infected is there's just they're just a bunch of a-holes. Like everyone's just like in these small groups, and just it's like I said, it's pretty brutal. Like, and the beginning of that game, like the little prologue, it's like I wouldn't want to be a parent and watch that. Let's just put it that way. It's like, that's rough.
Yeah, right. I actually have Pitch Black's video pulled up if you want to listen to it for a minute.
Sure.
Okay. Share screen. Yep. Gameplay through. And this is the version that they're going to release to the backers, the Kickstarter backers.
I am.
Yeah, I think I am too. I can't remember if I got mine in before the Kickstarter ended or not, but I gave a nice little contribution. He's been really nice about it. So.
36?
Oh yeah, I played the first demo that they had released, the city.
Whoops.
And that was pretty cool.
And a bunch of other stuff at Purple Jam Limited. And today I'm going to talk about the upcoming backer build release. I'm going
to fast forward to where he gets to the actual beginning of the intro.
Almost the very start of the game. Not the very, very start, because I don't want to spoil anything. But sort of the first who backed the £50 option.
There we go.
You can hear him just sort of walking around backwards and forwards. On my left there's an electrical buzz.
Seems to be like some kind of stone hallway.
Yeah, I believe in the beginning he said it's a bunker that it's like a resistance bunker, like the rebels.
Okay. Yep. All right. Yep. I can see that.
And you can hear in front of us the radio playing, the theme song, a little bit of a temporary Emperor recording. We're going to put in the proper Emperor soon. But we're essentially in an underground bunker. So I'm just going to walk forward, open the door, see what Finn, the leader of the resistance of the Nightlanders, is saying.
I like this because it's got kind of that sci-fi twist to it.
So it's pretty visual then?
No, there's no. What I played, there's no visuals at all.
Oh, okay.
But I just like it because everything else is like medieval.
Right.
Thought I heard you creeping in. I think I nailed that speech, don't you? Anyway, the mission.
Of course, put us Irish always as the rebels or the...
Yeah.
Wind of some documents in the nearby pumping station. Something real revealing. Apparently, according to the inside man, in those docks is the location of some church top secret. We don't know what, yet, but we know it's important.
Cool.
I love the
Yeah,
Irish
so to talk
accent,
us
though.
through our thinking.
What's up?
I said I love the Irish accent, though.
Or particularly my thinking. At the minute, there's...
I want to get to the scope part for you.
They are necessarily loud.
He just talks about some of the
Oh.
issues they're having.
Onward and outward, or something.
Alright.
And then he's going to get the scope.
How it works. Right, on the device. Okay, hold on. On the device, press 1.
Cool. Alright, so that little sort of wooden clicky sound, that's us receiving the item, the auditory zoom mechanic.
Auditory zoom mechanic.
Now
That's
this
what I was looking
to be going, which direction to go. Sonically, it's really cool and interesting. Yeah. We'll get to exactly what it does and how it works in a moment. So I'm just gonna press a key.
Oh, wait, that's wrong, no.
for. And they go through some comedy, like, okay, no, that's not the right key. This is the right key. Wait, no, that's not the right key. This is the right key.
It's the spacebar button. Try it out.
Alright, and now we're actually going to try the spacebar button. So in this iteration, you'll hear in a minute, he says tap it again. The gameplay is actually tap and hold the spacebar to focus. That feels more intentional, and we don't want people to stay focused the whole time. It's more of an aid. We don't want to limit sort of how long you can focus for, because that feels a little bit frustrating. Rather, we're going to put lots of interesting things in the world that you won't hear when you're focused, so it's worthwhile not being focused the whole time. Yeah, you can think about the focus as like imagine a sniper scope, or like a shotgun mic, so you're zooming in on a particular audio source, and that becomes louder and everything else becomes much quieter. Yeah.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Alright.
Hello? Now, press the spacebar button again to deactivate it.
Yeah, so you could hear that when he was talking, because I'm now zoomed in, as denoted by the and that little bass drop sound. When I come across a POI, it makes that noise, and when I go, a POI is a point of interest, so it's something the player's interested in and typically needs to move towards. And
I'm going to fast forward to where he goes out into the environment, and this is really cool.
Okay.
a distinctive character.
Yeah, I don't think they had that in the original build. I know they talked
No.
about it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk in a random direction now. Yeah, if I turn around. Oh. Some ghouls getting a bit annoyed over there. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm stuck. I'm just walking through the desert. Sounds amazing, obviously. But where do I go now? And this is really where your auditory focus mechanic is going to be key. Alright.
I like that sound effect, how he transitions into using the effect. It's like
Yep, I've seen
tunnel
that
vision
kind
or
of
something.
yeah, I kind of heard that not quite as deep, but like something similar in like the detective visions in a couple of like mainstream games too. It's a cool
Nice.
effect.
Yeah.
So you can hear I'm focused now. Alright. There we go. So if I zoom out again.
Now that's really cool. If you guys are watching at home with your headphones on or earbuds on, or not, as he was turning the character, that's how you could hear that little radio static coming into focus.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really cool.
So now, because I zoomed in and looked all around, or focused, as the term should be, you know that because that's your only point of interest, that's where you should be walking towards. Now, in future levels, like the city, as the Kickstarter backers may have played,
Yay.
you're going to have multiple points of interest, and you'll have to, know what's going on in the narrative and such to find the right direction to go. And POIs won't always be sort of the next checkpoint. They may very well be something that's just of interest. They're like the simulations or the arcade and the city, all of that stuff.
That's really cool. I like how he's incorporating the smaller little games within the game itself. Kind of like, that kind of reminds me of the side jobs or side missions you have to do in a bigger game.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, thanks, In Darkness. There's Illegally Cited's YouTube channel link, so you guys can click on that and head over there and give a subscribe.
Yeah, and at the end of the stream, I'm like, yeah, I'm heading over to, I'm heading over to your stream, and so I kind of gave you a little plug there.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all.
So, this is supposed to be out for the backers very soon. I was going to say this, I thought it was this week, but I can't be sure on that. I wrote Harry this morning to find that out. So, hopefully soon we'll get to experience that game. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very... Is that going to be like a early, like kind of a build of the game, or is it just like is it like a section, like kind of like the city was? Is it like another piece of it? Part of me wants to play it, but part of me kind of wants to wait now, because I've heard the technology. I've heard the technology, so I kind of like, I kind of want to look at it, but I kind of want to wait to hear just the full game and just soak it in when it comes out.
That's how I am too. Like when I first heard about Sable, there was 3 days left until you weren't. Before, when they stopped offering people to try it out and whatnot. I was like, 3 days? Nah, I can't. That's gonna kill me.
The reason that I had to for that one is because I was actually considering creating something, and I'm like, well, if I know what the engine can and can't do, at least theoretically, because I emailed the developer back and forth, probably the poor guy. I had so many questions for him, and he was great about it, but I think his name was Paul. Shout out, buddy. And he was just great about replying, and I used that time to sort of figure out, because if I end up creating the story ahead of time, which I haven't gotten around to even starting really yet, but then I know what the game can do, and I can try to design something that'll fit what the game engine can do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one of my many projects that I should really try to work on at some point here.
Yeah, I had him on, I think it was 2 days before the game was going to be taken offline, for people to try it out. And I was, like I said, I didn't want to be, not disappointed, but I didn't want to get my hopes up to be able to play it and build the world, because I've got stories and stories in my brain that I could put into this game. It'd just be awesome.
See, that's my problem, is I'm not a good, I know when I like a good story, but I am just garbage at trying to come up with something original. Like coming up with a plot or a story from scratch. I'm terrible. I'm having some trouble with that. I've got a couple ideas, but it's rough.
Well, if you ever want help, I'm more than willing to give you some ideas if you'd like. My first passion is writing poetry, stories, short stories, that sort of thing. So. Oh,
cool.
I'm definitely up for working with somebody on that. That'd be kind of cool. Especially. Are you looking into making a game yourself?
Thinking about it. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd back that.
I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm thinking about trying to build something within Sable.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I said, I've taken programming classes, but I always tell people the only thing I learned in programming is that I suck at programming.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't have to know how to code to do this. I'm like, hey, even a blockhead like me can figure this out.
Yeah. I'm actually going to see if I can find any. There's some questions in the chat. Specifics on the PS5 as far as technical specifications.
Yeah, I don't know the technical specs. I just know, a lot of the techie stuff like teraflops and stuff, that it's just, I don't know. It doesn't really mean a lot. It's real world performance. Basically what I want to know is, can games run, like even current gen games? How many titles just, they're focused on looking so good, but they don't necessarily prioritize smooth frame rate. Like the game gets choppy or slows down, or I'd rather have a smooth game than all the bells and whistles.
Yeah. Like me personally, I do enjoy reading the specs. Like here's the first one, for example, on the PS5. AMD Zen 2 with 8 cores at 3.5 gigahertz. That's like, okay.
That's pretty high. It's your kind of modern-ish architecture.
FLOPs, teraflops, 10.28 teraflops. I don't know what 36 CUs are at 28 variable G gigahertz. Custom AMD architecture for the GPU. 16. That's it? My iMac from 2013 has more than that.
What's that? 16 gigs of RAM?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. 16 gigabytes of RAM, DDR3. Oh, but it is 256-bit.
Oh, but I was going to say it's still a DDR3? I thought it was DDR5.
Where is it?
I think that's more
GDR6.
Graphics memory.
Wait, this is reading differently when I go from word to line. Hold on. GDR6. My bad.
I was going to say DDR3, that sounds really old.
That's what I was saying. It's like my iMac's got...
I'm like,
no,
that's not right. That can't be right.
Memory bandwidth, 448 gigabytes per second. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm. The SSD is where it's really going to make the difference, because I can't tell you, going from a regular spinny drive to an SSD in computers, it makes so much difference.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I just got to that. 825 gigabyte SSD. Dude.
Yeah, you're going to fill that up with like a few games, man.
Yeah.
As big as those things are. That seems really small to me.
It does. I'm sure... Well, I'm not sure, but I would guess, like the PS4, you got a couple USB inputs where you can actually plug in external devices. So maybe you can plug in some external SSDs. I just got an 2 terabyte SSD. The thing is tiny. I couldn't believe it.
External?
External, yep.
What'd you end up paying for that, if you don't mind me asking?
2 terabyte, it was about $300.
Okay. For an external, that's not... that's... you're paying for the external portability. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait, you have some... Maybe you can see this. I'll hold it up for you. It's actually smaller.
Yeah, it's probably like one of those passport drives.
Oh, it's even smaller than that.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I'll show you the comparison here. Oh. Okay, so this one is a passport. So it's about...
Okay, yep. I've seen those.
That thick. This is 2 terabytes.
Okay, and that's your regular passport. Okay.
This one is the SSD. Your left, my right.
Damn, son. That's pretty small.
Look at the thickness, though.
Wow, that is really thin.
Right? This thing is almost a business card.
Kinda. Yeah. That's crazy.
So. Yep. I'm pretty excited to get that thing hooked up. Let's see. Darkness.
Yeah, I think my next rig is basically it. I don't think it's going to have. I might have to spend a little bit for it, but like all my drives, I think are going to be SSD. I'm not even going to go anything spinning anymore. I don't think.
I've had so much problems lately with spinning externals.
Oh well, externals are notorious. I mean, internal drives aren't so bad because you get the 72. A lot of these externals, they're still garbage because they still spin them at 5,400 RPM, which is ungodly slow.
Yeah. I just had the reason why I got this SSD is because my I do have an 8 terabyte 9600 Lacy volume, but after about 15 minutes or so, I'll get an alert dialog that says, please properly eject your device, and then boom, it's gone.
Ooh.
So I wasn't going to risk it anymore. I backed it all up and switched to
externals. I've got a couple. I got 3 or 4, I think, like 3 or 4 different, like, I think I got a 2 terabyte somewhere. And I think I've got a 2 or 3 different, like 4 terabyte drives floating around somewhere.
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Do you ever run or considered running games or anything on externals, especially SSDs?
Not really, because typically, I mean, if you're, I don't upgrade my computers all that often, but when I do, I just kind of plan ahead because I think like internal drives are just generally cheaper than the externals in the casings. So I just spend a little bit more up front and kind of go big. That's kind of why I'm pushing off building. Like I've thought about upgrading my PC because I really would like an RTX card and that. But I mean, the longer I wait too, not only for video cards, but the better prices, especially for internal SSDs. I would love to be able. Right now, we're hovering around 2s for pretty common, but I would love to see at least getting to around the 4 terabyte for a good price SSD range.
Yeah,
is what I would like to do because, like, right now I have 3 hard drives in my computer. I have a 500 gig SSD, and then I have 2 4 terabyte 7200 drives for like my media and my games and stuff. And so I really don't want to go under because I use a lot of that space, and so I really don't want to go back down. I kind of want to have at least like 8-10 terabytes in my next computer, especially with games being bigger.
It's so crazy to think about. It wasn't what well, we'll just go up the line. Like, my first Mac computer was 10 megabyte hard disk space, right? The Apple II.
My IBM XT had 2 dual 5 1/4 inch floppy drives. It didn't have a hard drive.
And then the 90s, we didn't start really seeing gigabytes until the early 2000s. And now all of a sudden...
no, because I had... 98, I got a Dell computer that had I was like the king, man. I had like it was either a 10 or a 12 gig hard drive. Because I remember like in the
yeah, you're right. Because I remember
98.
Yeah, that's when I was started going into the university, and we had to get those stupid when thumb drives first came out. And I had to get a 64 megabyte, and I accidentally got a gigabyte. I was like, why is this so expensive?
I found, I don't know if I have it, but I found when I was cleaning something about 6 months ago, in some depths of a drawer somewhere, I had a, believe it or not, 250 megabyte thumb drive. I'm like, oh my God.
It's pretty amazing how, as technology grows and expands, it gets smaller.
Oh, I remember like the computer that I had before. I had like a 1.2 gig drive, and I'm like, I'm never gonna fill this ever. Now it's like, well, my swap file's bigger than that.
Yep. a little crazy. Like I remember in movies and music, like you could easily get a music file for like 3.5 to 7 megabytes.
Yeah.
And now the music files are like 12 megabytes sometimes.
I remember we would get a friend of mine and I, like, he would always find these movies on the internet, like, it wasn't the most kosher of things, but you look back at them and go, oh my god, these were garbage, because they were just super compressed videos that would just fit on a CD.
MVK files.
Or remember Real Player?
Oh god, yeah. I'm glad they did away with that. That was like the worst thing after the first year.
I probably have a couple of those discs if they still work somewhere. And I remember it was so bad, like, I mean, the image quality on those, you look back and it's like, oh, how did we watch that? It was garbage. And now you can just stream live video better than that on the internet.
And believe it or not, there are still the people that'll sit in a theater with their cell phone, record it, and upload it.
Yeah. Actually, the funny thing is, that's how I saw that one of the files they downloaded. I didn't get to go see it in the theaters, and it almost added to the cheesiness, because somebody had recorded South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And it was almost really funny because you actually had the people in the theater laughing. So you had like this laugh track for the movie, and it was kind of dumb but kind of great.
That's funny.
I don't think I have that anymore, though, unless it's buried in my closet somewhere.
Man, like you said earlier, talking about the PS5 again, going from, hard media to virtual digital media is just, you can't get on a disc, let's say, what you can get digitally. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that, but like I said, honestly, like I like physical media, but I kind of figure, what's the point? Because when you buy the game and then you feel like, oh, I got to go download an 8 gig patch.
Right.
Well, then why did I even have this disc? Because essentially it's buggy enough to be useless because I needed an 8 gig patch.
Yep.
I like the fact that things can be updated now, but in a way I kind of hate that became a thing in the Xbox 360 days, because now it's like, well, we don't have to finish our game, we can release it kind of buggy, get it out there for our release date, and then people will just patch it.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
They might as well just make the hard copy your unlock key.
Well, pretty much. I mean, and the problem is they still have to make media because, unfortunately, there's still a huge different areas of the U.S. and other places that just have crap for broadband.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Even if you have to download 8 gigs, it's still better than 300 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I'm hoping that one of the positives of all this COVID-19 crap is that they realize, yeah, everyone's working from home. We better take this broadband thing a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm hoping they maybe realize.
Man, there's so much going on. And it's moved really fast because of the whole shelter-in-place thing, too. Like,
yeah,
so many people. Like, the camera, the simple webcam that I use, the C920, when I first got it, it was $35-$40. You go online, if you can find them, they're hundreds of dollars now because everybody is streaming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've heard that from, like, headset microphones and stuff, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, thankfully I've got mine, and because I love this headset, and so if the cord shorts out on it, which if the cord gets set just right, it does sort of short out, but mostly it works really good still.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a spare. I bought a spare a couple of years ago. Just when this goes bad, I'll have one more version of this headset. So it's in my closet if I need it.
Just don't throw it away.
No.
What do I need this cord for? Well, I haven't used it in so much time. Might as well throw it away.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what
this
I
is
do.
it's a totally new headset, like new in box. So.
Oh, nice. What kind of headset is it?
Turtle Beach PX22.
PX22. Okay.
It's kind of weird. Like it's weird to set up like a phone jack for the audio part. It's like two separate devices. So you have your headphones are your audio jack, but then your microphone and your equalizer is USB. Because I've been told it sounds really good. So
yeah, it does sound really good.
It's comfortable.
That's the big thing too, trying to find some monitors that are comfortable while you're streaming for however many hours or whatever.
Yes.
Like mine, I have to have the ones that go around and cover the ears, the over-ear ones. I can't stand anything pushing down on my ears.
For long periods of time, I definitely agree. I love the ear cups, and I can't stand earbuds. I can't stand earbuds. They're not earbuds. The one exception, though, if I'm listening to like podcasts or audiobooks, I love my AfterShokz. Because I can just wander around with those suckers and have them paired to my phone, and just, they're wonderful for that.
Nice. Well, Jesse, I think I'm going to get out of here. I think we pretty much covered everything that we can about the PS5. Me personally, I will say, with the exception of the sound, I wasn't too impressed.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, after going over the specs on the website, it's a nice, decent machine, and who knows what we'll actually get when it comes out. Some people are saying holiday 2020, so we don't really have a release date, I don't think.
My guess is it's got to be November at the very latest, because they want to get it in before their Black Friday.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking too. But other than that, what's your summation on the PS5 video we kind of watched?
I guess, I'm probably not going to get one right away, just because, a lot of the games there's a few that were listed as 2020, but there was a lot of 2021s. There was one or two 2022s, actually. And, I know there will be games on there that I want to play, and so they'll probably have, usually a year or two in, they've got another version of it that'll have, they made it slimmer, or they added more storage, or something like that. And so, it's really, like I said, I have so much to play, and especially if I can upgrade my PC in the next year or so, I might be apt to do that more, because, like I said, a lot of the Microsoft stuff is going to be coming to the new Xbox and Windows, and there were a lot of PS4 or PS5 exclusives.
Yeah.
And they seem to be single player, so if they don't come to PC, I might pick one up eventually. And if there are games like The Last of Us, if they keep throwing out things that have more accessibility in them, that's also going to be kind of a factor of, when are these, new crazy accessible games? What are they going to be? And
exactly.
And because if I hear something really cool, I'm like, oh no, I got to buy it now.
Yeah, that's what I'm really waiting for, is the aftermath, I'll say. The aftermath of accessibility after Last of Us, and see how other game developers react. Yeah,
and what I said at the end of my stream even was that it's going to be interesting to see that, but at the same time, unless they knew that was already in progress, other developers aren't really going to know until pretty much we did, which, we only found out about it last week. And so game development, I'm thinking it's going to be another dev cycle or two before other developers kind of look at it and catch on, because the games that they're already in development, and they're not going to be able to just retrofit all that stuff back in.
Right.
And so if they are going to look at doing it, it's going to be another dev cycle or so. So you're probably looking at about another year or two minimum especially for big AAA titles, would be my assumption or my guess.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm thinking too. That makes sense. So, anyway, thanks again very much for coming on, Jesse.
You bet.
I got your email. I didn't read it
Okay.
yet, but I'm guessing it's about tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did reply to you. Yeah, I did reply to you, and it looks like we should be good because
Awesome.
it'll be 9 p.m. my time because
Cool.
you said 7 p.m.
So
Pacific. So
Yep. So everybody in the chat who's listening, tomorrow Jesse will be joining me, and we're going to be talking about how do you want to say, blind field services and helping blind people, low vision people, specifically find employment. And what are
employment?
Yeah. Yay. Speaking of which, Independently Blind is employed. Good, congratulations, Independently Blind. Welcome.
Sweet.
So yeah, we'll be talking about that tomorrow, 7:05 p.m. Pacific time, 9:05. What's that? Central time.
Yep, Central Time.
Cool. Thanks again, Jesse, for coming on today. Much appreciated.
No problem. It was fun. Again, fun conversation.
Yeah, I love these conversations. Cool. Thank you guys all for joining on, watching, and don't forget, check out Illegally Cited on YouTube, as well as you can follow him on Twitter at BGFH79, I believe it is.
Correct.
IllegallyCited.com. No. Yeah, illegally-cited.com.
I have that. Yep, I bought the domain.
Awesome.
IllegallyCited.com works too. That's got all my projects and such.
Cool. And you can also find him on Mixer, but don't ask me for the link. I can't work it for some reason, but he's on Mixer.
Yeah, it's just mixer.com/BGFH.
Right on. Cool. So until next time, everybody, this is Theory of Blind Man, and don't forget, love is blind. Keep it blind.